Jesus had been travelling around with his friends for about 3 years, performing miracles, teaching huge crowds, healing people, telling stories and performing miracles. Loads of people thought Jesus was amazing. Many thought that he was the Messiah, the Saviour God had promised his people. But some didn't like Jesus, and these included some very powerful people. They'd even recruited one of Jesus' friends, called Judas, to betray him. Well, Jesus and his friends, but not Judas, were in Gethsemane, on a place called the Mount of Olives. He'd taken them there to pray, and he took 3 of them, Peter, James and John, to a different place on the mount. He prayed to his Father. He knew what was coming. He knew he was going to have to die. Well, when he went back to Peter, James and John, they'd all fallen asleep, and Jesus was sad. "Couldn't you stay awake with me for just 1 hour?" he asked them. Then he went back to his prayers. He asked God that he might not suffer, but he knew he would have to. Well, when he went back to Peter, James and John, they were asleep again. Now, where was I? Oh yes. When Jesus rejoined the rest of his friends, Judas arrived with a large crowd sent by the chief priests. Judas had told the crowds that the person he went up to kiss was the man they wanted to arrest. And then he went to kiss Jesus. There was a kerfuffle, a bit of a brouhaha, something of a ruckus. Some soldiers grabbed Jesus and arrested him. They took him back to the city, and all of Jesus' friends ran away.
So Jesus was taken before Pontius Pilate by the chief priests. You see, they didn't like what Jesus had been saying and what he had been doing. But Pontius Pilate couldn't understand what Jesus had done wrong. But still he was persuaded that Jesus should die, and he was nailed to a cross.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Are you telling the story?
Yeah.
Where did you get up to?
Go up to the place where Jesus was nailed to the cross.
Ah, that's the saddest bit. I can't believe there were people who hated Jesus.
Well, do you want to carry on the story?
Sure. Hey, you almost made me drop my drink.
Okay, I guess I'll carry on the story. So Jesus was there, nailed to the cross. And they put a sign above his head that said, "This is Jesus, the King of the Jews." The chief priests came and made fun of Jesus. They insulted him. They said that he was able to save others, but he couldn't save himself. Not long after this, Jesus died. And the Roman soldier that was guarding him suddenly realized who Jesus was. Truly, he was the Son of God, he said. Sometime after this, Jesus' friends got permission to take his body and put it into a tomb. And he spent 2 days in that tomb. On the 3rd day, Mary Magdalene and another lady called Mary came to visit his tomb. Suddenly, there was an earthquake. An angel appeared from heaven and rolled away the stone. He was like lightning and snow. "Don't be afraid," the angel said to them. "The Jesus that you look for, he's not here. He is alive. Check the tomb. It is empty. Go and tell your friends." So they went to tell their friends, and suddenly Jesus appeared before them. He indeed was alive, and he was right there with them, talking to them. Everybody was so happy.
Goal!
What's going on?
Oh. Well, I went to have a go at those people. You know, the ones who hit me on the head with a football? And they let me join in. And I scored! What a great moment!
Well, I just talked about the greatest moment of all. The moment that Jesus rose from the dead. And indeed today, he is alive. Jesus is alive!
Jesus is alive! Woo!
Alex, I think it's time for us to go home. Let's pack up.
Sure.